Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Gabriela Diaz and in today's class we'll be analyzing the Model 3 of our book, which is called Budget Constraint. And we will divide the class in three parts. The first part will be the concept, the second part will be our equation, and the third part will be how we represent that graphically. So even the richest people can afford to have everything in the world. Each of us has a budget that limits the extent of our consumption. Economists call this limit budget constraint. So budget constraint will be the set of all the bundles a consumer can purchase given an income, and it's governed by two hands. In one hand, we'll have our income, and on the other hand, we have the prices of the goods that the consumer can purchase with the income. If we want to translate this concept into an equation, we will arrive to this equation, which is the price of product A that multiplies the quantity of product A plus the price of product B that multiplies the quantity of product B that will equal our income. And if we want to represent that graphically, we will have this result. We'll have 2 points connected by one line, and this is the budget constraint line that connects the amount of product B with the amount of product A that the consumer can purchase with the given income. And the amount of product B, it will be the income dividing the price of product B, and the amount of product A will be the income dividing the price of product A. And this budget line indicates the bundles that the consumer can purchase with the given income, but with all the income, and that's something we will talk about it a little bit later. After you have the budget constraint line, we have to represent the slope. And the slope is gonna be minus product A dividing product B. And this slope also represents what we call the economic rate of substitution. And it demonstrates also the opportunity cost. What do we talk about when we say opportunity cost? In this case, the opportunity cost of product A will be the amount of product B that we have to give up in order to get one more unit of product A. The opportunity cost of something is no more than the next best alternative that you have to give up in order to get that something. But let's put two other real life scenarios so you can have a better idea about what we talk when we say opportunity cost. Let's say we can go to see a movie, but we gave up on going to see a movie to stay at home and study to get a good grade for a test. So the opportunity cost of staying at home to get a good grade will be the enjoyment and the price of the movie. Let's take another example. Let's say that we have $15,000 worth in a stock that we can sell it now and get $20,000. If we wait 2 months, maybe instead of getting $20,000, we have $25,000. So the opportunity cost of selling those stocks now will be those $5,000 difference that maybe we can have if we wait 2 months more. So those $5,000 will be my opportunity cost if I sell it now in this example. When we talked about that the budget constraint line is represented by 2 points connected, that it represents all the bundles the consumer can afford given an income, we talked about using all his income. So all these points from the origin to the line is what the consumer, when a consumer is not using all this income. So all these points until we get to a line, from the origin to the line. And all those points from the line forward is what the consumer cannot afford. So whatever is on top of the line is the possibilities of combinations that the consumer cannot afford given his income. But let's see how this graph can change based on the prices of the product and also based on the income. So let's say say that the price of product A increases. So if the price of product A increase, the consumer will have to, the amount of the consumer can get decreases. So in this case, the budget constraint line will move towards the origin, and it will be a negatively impact on it, because the consumer will have to afford less amount of product A with the same income. The other change, let's say that we have an increase on their income. Let's say that the consumer have more money available that he can spend. In this case, the budget constraint line will make a parallel shift outward, and that will create a positive change, because the consumer will be able to afford more of product A and more of product B. So the consumer will be able to afford more of both products. That's why it's an upward shift of the constraint line. So we have the old budget constraint line, and we'll have the new budget constraint line. So budget constraint line, we can arrive to the conclusion that can change because of price and income, like I show you in these two examples. But we also have to consider other common features of real world market, like for example, taxes, like vouchers, like coupons that we have every day. So I invite you to keep analyzing how those can change our graph, and also analyze other examples of the book. I really hope you all enjoyed the class. Thank you.